Oh, I thought this game was over. Rizzo and Judge back-to-back for my Yankees in the first, and bam, the Mets arrive. Jordan Montgomery akin to batting practice. And the New York Mets take game one last night of the Subway Series over my New York Yankees. And if you're a Mets fan, you have to be thrilled. This was a huge win, a statement win, a colossal victory. And let's be honest, if you're a Mets fan, you have to be thinking about the World Series, especially when Jacob deGrom comes back. And I think that if you're a Yankees fan on the heels of last night, you have to be slightly concerned. 5-9. This team needs Luis Castillo. This team needs an outfield bat. This team needs bullpen help. This team needs a jolt. I was so disappointed in the Yankees last night. I thought up 2-0, it was going to be cruise control. And then you saw what Escobar did, and Lindor, and Pete Alonso, and Marte getting the party started in that first inning. And really, that was the ball game. Yankees were sloppy last night. They didn't play well. Really had their heads in between their derrieres. I mean, it was really unfortunate watching the Yankees from a fundamental perspective. And Aaron Boone, the hell was this? I mean, why in the world would you pinch hit Joey Gallo? There was a 0% chance he was going to make contact, especially when you have Adam Ottavino in, and he's going to face Schein for Leffa. And if you're going to go at the end of the day with Gallo, you know that Buck Showalter is going to counter with the flame-throwing Diaz, who closed the game. 103 strikeouts, 161 batting average. What's the definition of insanity? Same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Oh, by the way, congrats to the Mets on sweeping the Yankees. Sweeping this series because Max Scherzer is going to dominate the New York Yankees tonight. It's Scherzer's birthday. Happy birthday. Do you think Max Scherzer is going to lose on his birthday? I mean, I don't know what Rizzo was doing on the bases last night. Schein for Leffa got picked off first base in the first inning. That drove me nuts. Yankees fundamentals were terrible. Montgomery was awful. Boone was terrible. Baggett's New York Yankees. Whoa. Jerry Jones wants Mike McCarthy to know he has options. And if not, that's not a perfectly direct message that this is a do-or-die year for Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys. I mean, I don't know what is. I mean, that was a wild news conference. The Cowboys can't. Jerry Jones not going to be happy unless Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys make a run at the Super Bowl. It's that simple. Spoiler alert. Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys are not making a run at the Super Bowl. I mean, I like Mike McCarthy. I'm a Mike McCarthy fan. I think what he did in Green Bay, he deserves a ton of credit. He's won more games than lost in Dallas, but, you know, the loss to San Francisco was unacceptable. And frankly, he's had clock management issues, major gaffes. And, you know, I don't think that he or Dak Prescott have enough around him. I mean, that's the problem. Amari Cooper's not walking through that door anymore, and Lyle Collins left, and Randy Gregory left, and while Prescott is an absolute stud, and I love number 88, CeeDee Lamb, and their upside is to make the playoffs, and Dak is excellent as a quarterback, look, they're not better than the Eagles. They're not. When you have that kind of talent leave, especially Randy Gregory, it's a problem, a major problem. Still think the Dallas defense is going to be tremendous. I love Dan Quinn as the coordinator. Micah Parsons is special. Love Diggs in the defensive backfield. Lawrence can obviously be someone who disrupts the opposition's offense. But normally you look at the roster, you say, loaded. And this team has real Super Bowl talent and potential. The Dallas Cowboys this year, they have a talent issue in addition to the coaching issue. Absolutely obsessed with this approach from Mike Tomlin on the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback competition. No micromanaging, no impulse decisions, no constant checking and changing of the depth chart or overreaction. He's just trying to take the pressure off of Kenny Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky as they battle it out, and the best quarterback is going to win and play. Look, this is a fun quarterback competition. I think Mitch Trubisky is ready to become a starter again in the NFL. Everyone knows who watches the show on a daily basis how much I love Kenny Pickett. And it doesn't matter that Pickett was drafted in the first round or that Trubisky was a former number 2 overall pick and a free agent signing. Best quarterback's going to play. Kenny Pickett is better right now than Ben Roethlisberger the last couple of years. Mitch Trubisky is better than Ben Roethlisberger the last couple of years. And look, if you thought that it was all Mitch's fault that Chicago never should have picked the number 2 overall instead of Mahomes and Watson in the first place, look at what happened with Matt Nagy without Mitch Trubisky last season. Trubisky was able to sit and watch and learn under Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, which makes him ready for Mike Tomlin. Makes him ready for Pittsburgh. This is going to be a real quarterback battle. The only one in the NFL that, to me, matters this preseason. I think that Mike Tomlin, this is his kind of team, right? You know, they improved at the offensive line. Myles Jack in the linebacker position. Juju Smith-Schuster took his act to Kansas City. His dancing, his TikToks. That's addition by subtraction. Najee Harris can have a dynamite second season. I think that the best quarterback, regardless of draft position or money paid in the offseason, will play. And Tom will overanalyze. The Pittsburgh press is going to overanalyze. Mike Tomlin's going to let it breathe. Let him watch every single rep in training camp, play in the preseason, then make a decision. And I'm going to let you know a little secret. Don't be surprised when the Pittsburgh Steelers are better than expected for the 2022 campaign. Welcome back, time to Schein, and welcome back, Michael Thomas. We have a whiteboard, and we're going to use it. Michael Thomas back on the field for the New Orleans Saints today is, and I love that emotion, everything. Absolutely, positively everything. Like, it's now official. I'm going to pick the New Orleans Saints to win the NFC South. And we've been talking about this all offseason, so it's not like this is some hot take seeing Michael Thomas back on the practice field. I've been saying it. Michael Thomas is healthy. He's going to dominate like he did throughout his entire career before last year when he missed the entire campaign with the ankle surgery. And you almost got to jog the mental Rolodex and remember, this guy was the single most unstoppable and best wide receiver in the game. And Jameis Winston throwing to Alvin Kamara out of the backfield, who's a phenomenal runner as well. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, who I love as a speedster, Jarvis Landry, what a free agent pickup. And don't sleep on Smith and Callaway. That's a division-winning team. Plus the defense with Honey Badger, bringing him in. And I know the Bucs play in the division too. The Saints have the better roster. Michael Thomas's presence on the field, everything. Staying in the NFL, new Minnesota Vikings general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah had some pretty interesting and honest and somewhat harsh things to say about Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins. He's not Brady. He's not Mahomes. So the Vikings GM questioning Cousins is, it's correct, but weird. Like, why? And why now? And you just paid him. And part of that quote was, he's got this agita here that he didn't do a complete rebuild at the quarterback position. And to me, Kirk Cousins is a dividing line, right? Have a quarterback, don't have a quarterback. If you have Kirk Cousins, who put up big-time numbers last year, you have the ability, you certainly have a franchise quarterback. You have the ability to win a lot of games. Look at that touchdown to interception ratio. That's legit. And they paid him a lot of money, and I get it. Now, can you win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins? No, you can't. But Dalvin Cook is a stud. Justin Jefferson's a top 3 receiver in the NFL. Thielen's back and ready to rock and roll. And the big key and why, correct but weird, finally Mike Zimmer's out. And Mike Zimmer hated Kirk Cousins, never wanted Kirk Cousins. You bring in Kevin O'Connell, young, fresh, offensive mind from the Rams, well-respected when he was a backup quarterback in the league. That's the kind of cat who's going to be sensational for Kirk Cousins, who I do think has another level he can go to. So I can appreciate the new general manager, Adolfo Mensa, talking about a competitive rebuild and retool and analytics, and he's an Ivy Leaguer, and I get it. You're paying the quarterback who's not Mahomes or Brady, his word, $40 million a season. But let me say that out loud. Let a talking head say that out loud. You can't say that. Or maybe he's saying it because he knows you're going to get a little, you like that? You like that kind of tour from Kirk Cousins for this upcoming season. By the way, I'm kind of high on the Minnesota Vikings this year, and I think Kirk Cousins is going to have the best season of his career and lead them to the playoffs. To Major League Baseball, where the Boston Red Sox lost again last night. So, the Boston Red Sox are pathetic. I mean, absolutely, positively pathetic. This team can't pitch. This team can't field. This team can't hit. This team is a complete and utter top to bottom clown show. Like, what on earth is that? Look at these nuggets of futility in the month of July. They are atrocious in every possible way. I mean, look at that ERA. Look at the errors. Look at the run differential, minus 75. That is absolutely pathetic. The Red Sox have a 0% chance of making the postseason. Staying in the American League East, the Toronto Blue Jays upside is it's World Series. And that was my prediction at the beginning of the year. World Series. Now, the Blue Jays are piping hot, and this is not a fluke in any way, shape, or form. They are that great in every single area. Now, when you take a look at it, they need Berrios to keep it going like this because they have Gossman, they have Manoah, they certainly have studs at the top of the rotation. If you get Berrios pitching like this and how I expected him to at the beginning of the year, then yes, the Toronto Blue Jays can absolutely bust up what has felt inevitable all year, Yankees Astros in the ALCS.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.